Hey, good morning, gang. How you guys doing this morning? I had to get in this bad boy before it get too hot. It's a heat advisory today. And it's already 81 degrees this morning. But the tub's a little bit hotter than 81 degrees, so it feels a little good. But I hope everybody's having a good weekend. I know I'm having a phenomenal weekend. Been getting some stuff around the house done. Actually, got our front door painted, got a garage floor painted, and our entire garage actually. We had to take everything out of the garage, and I mean everything. Oof. It was interesting. The last 2 days have been interesting. But then my man James came in. He painted the floor, put this little epoxy sprinkle-like stuff all over it, then repainted it with a clear coat of something. So the garage floor no longer feels and looks like concrete. It has like a rubbery texture to it. Now, if you fall, you're gonna bust your head, but it has like a rubbery texture to it. So it's pretty cool. Now, I wanted to jump on this morning. I want to chat with you guys. I was having a conversation with my mom the other day. We had a good one. We always do. And we were just talking about people in general and how we were talking from our own experience about how it's pretty much consistent with a lot of people's experience when it comes to becoming successful, right? So one thing we want to talk about is a lot of folks sometimes we compare ourselves to others, especially with social media nowadays. It's so easy to look at somebody else's lifestyle and compare yourself or to question your journey. And we want to stay as far away from that as humanly possible because your journey is different. So let me explain. There's a book called Think and Grow Rich, and I won't get off philosophical about the book. But in the book, Napoleon Hill, back then, for those who don't know, Napoleon Hill was a biracial person. This is a newsflash to some of you, if you never read the book before, if you don't know about Napoleon Hill, he's a biracial gentleman. And that's important for what I'm about to share. So, a lot of times, we get to a point in our life, like I'll be 50 soon, and I've had a very, very good life. I won't even say I've had any roadblocks or any speed bumps along the way, because compared to how good my life has been for all these years, I so much overlook the interesting times. I won't even call them bad times. While they did exist, while they were present, I just overlook them. I ain't never end up in anybody's jail. I've had to, bury friends and family members, and that's just a part of life. Some things were unfortunate because I believe they shouldn't have happened, but who are we to question God's plan? But the point I'm trying to make, and the point my mom and I was talking about, was sometimes how do you get where you are? And so, I use the example with Think and Grow Rich because in the book Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill says something that's very vague. And it's based on his experience, based on opportunities, and based on someone's life. He says something to the point that by the time you're 40 years old, you should be wealthy, or very well-to-do or rich. Well, I didn't hit it at 40. I smashed it at 48. So I was 8 years off of his prediction based on you living a life in a good environment with access to resources and maybe no trauma or childhood trauma for that matter. And that's what I want to talk about. This isn't everybody's experience, but it's some people's experience. And some of us experience trauma at a young age. that trauma could have very well slowed down your God-given natural progression as it pertains to success. I want you to think about it. Behind me, you see a whole bunch of trees. See these trees? Nothing will stop these trees from growing. Hold up, something wrong. Oh damn, my sprinkler on. I'm sitting in a hot tub, right? And I'm like, what in the hell is coming over my hot tub? Look at this. I'm like, where's that water coming from? And behind the thing there's my sprinkler. No, but as I was saying about the tree, right? Nothing's going to stop this tree's natural progression of life. Except for maybe a fire, tornado, hurricane, one of the above. This water is persistent. Yeah, right? So nothing's going to stop this tree's natural progression. So what happens, the tree hasn't experienced any trauma or anything to get in the way of it growing. None. It rains when it rains, it gets sun when it gets sun. You know, hopefully no lantern bugs land on it and kill it. But you guys get the point. In a vacuum, meaning no resistance, nothing getting in his way, in a vacuum, in a perfect world, you, based on Napoleon Hill's prediction and his experience, by the age of 40, should be very wealthy or well-to-do. And that's true. That's true. So let me explain why I agree with Napoleon Hill on that one. But again, certain circumstances might have derailed your progression to being financially free or wealthy. Okay? Some of us grew up in an environment, I know I did, at some times, where there are major social ills. It's crime. Crime on many levels. We had parents trying to figure it out. It's so funny, right? My mom is 16 years older than me. My dad's 20 years older than me. And they're like 16 and 19, something like that. And when I was 10 years old, my mom was 26 years old. I don't know about you, but when I was 26 years old, I hadn't figured out a damn thing. I wasn't married. Okay, I had a job. I had a decent job. What I did figure out by the time I was 26 years old is to be a productive part of society and just do well. But I was in the workplace by then. But 26 years old with a 10-year-old kid, you know, I'm 5 years old, or she's 21. You eventually, and I don't know about y'all, when I was 21 years old, I couldn't have had no damn 5-year-old. I was nowhere near responsible enough, you know? And my grandfather, for an example, was a Renaissance man, did a whole bunch of stuff. Some of you heard me say this before. Spoke multiple languages, played multiple instruments. And he, this water hit me in my eye now, a sprinkler acting a fool. I can move. Okay. I know a sprinkler relentless. Look at it, y'all. Just came right over the thing. Said, we ain't stopping. I got my guy, he just came and picked up my lawn furniture. He took it to a shop and he's painting it. Not all of it. But see no chairs over there? We had to break out the wasp spray yesterday. It was damn wasp all underneath that furniture. But as I was saying, so using an example of my grandfather, he had a lot that he could pass down to my mother, my uncle, and my aunt. But due to certain circumstances, The information was passed down the best way he could, but they just weren't in a position to receive it, right? And maybe they did receive it, but at the time, they had other distractions that kind of derailed them from becoming super successful. Now, my aunt passed away young, and she was a machine. I truly believe if given the right, in absence of certain circumstances, she'd have did the damn thing. My uncle's doing very well for himself. He's down in North Carolina. My mom's doing well for herself. She's down in Florida. You know, my dad's doing well for himself. He's in New York. And when I look back, and sometimes, guys, we got to look back and take inventory. Not only self-inventory. We always need to be taking self-inventory. But you got to look back at your family and your structure. And you're not looking for excuses. You're just saying, could things have been a little different? I give an example. I was a great athlete, fast, athletic, and it's not a knock. I was an all-state in track. I think I was third in football, third team in football. I know I forget the rankings back then in high school. But with all that said, and it's not a knock on my parents, but they never made a track meet or a football game. Ever. Ever. Now, an absence of social ills, an absence of trauma, you gotta hear me, and if you've had an opportunity to be healed, your circumstances change once you become an adult. See, my mom and dad at the time, there were circumstances. There was still childhood trauma going on, things that they hadn't healed from. So they were behind the 8 ball, you know, working harder or being caught up in circumstances. So going to a track meet or to a football game, shit, that was the furthest thing from their mind. Now, let's fast forward to my daughter, Taylor in particular for sports. Not only did I not miss a practice, hell, I coached her in swimming, well, track first. She made it to Junior Olympics 3 times. We traveled the country. Then I coached her in swimming. Well, I was an official in swimming, but I never missed a practice. And then I coached her in basketball. You know, when did I have the time? My parents had the time, they was working. And again, prior to them working and getting, you know, acclimated to the workplace, they'd still suffered from some childhood trauma. And by the time I got to high school, my mom was working on healing. That was her main priority. And thank God, she, because of therapy, because of access, because of mentorship, because she had already had it inside, she just needed somebody to chat with them, or she needed somebody to chat to, or a group to chat to, so she could start to heal. And she was focused on healing and getting better for her, so she could be a better example for her children. Becoming rich, furthest thing from her damn mind. Becoming financially free, furthest thing from her mind. You know, surviving and providing and paying the bills, you know, that was part of the healing process. But having access to what Napoleon Hill would say, the access that we needed to be rich by we were 40, she wasn't thinking about that. And a lot of you, sometimes we overlook this. Some of you are still going through a healing process right now. And some of you are because of past circumstances and things that you haven't had a chance to address yet. Some of you are in survival mode, not thrive mode. And that's not a knock. I'm just here to talk about it so we can address it and get the healing and the help that we need. You gotta understand, man. I'm gonna talk about. I can talk about people of all walks of life from my perspective, but I'll talk about the African American experience for a second. And this is facts. This is not, me just coming up with something. But even you look at some major inner cities, right? Because that's where you had the biggest collection of African Americans during the 60s, 70s. You look at some major inner cities and some southern towns, but they were heavily, this is not everybody's experience, but it's so damn. I gotta make sure I say this properly, because when I talk about things like this, I want to make sure I'm not saying the wrong thing. But in many of the inner cities, and again, some country towns, heroin was introduced. And to me, it was to derail progression. Point blank, period. I don't care what nobody say. It was introduced to certain neighborhoods and cities, and it was to derail progression. Projects were built, and they call them projects for a reason. It was to derail progression. There's something about home ownership versus living in a place where like a projects where everybody's living on top of each other. In certain projects, because of circumstances, I want to think deep on this, because I could come at this from so many different levels, but I don't want to go off topic. But again, something different about home ownership and what it brings to you, opposed to someone living in the projects. Projects, you're not a bad person, but certain projects in different parts of the United States, man, there was just so much going on. Drug infection, infested with drugs. Using drugs is just one example. And maybe your grandparents or aunts or uncles and stuff didn't use any damn drugs. That's probably not your experience. But they were part of an environment that was subject to a lot of stuff, because of drugs. And we've all heard some of our great philosophers, our rappers, and we've heard other, great leaders say, how the heck did the drugs get to the inner city? Nobody had planes and ships and boats. They just miraculously showed up. It was a plan. And people got through it. They did. But again, there were a lot of people, because of circumstances, didn't get to reach their potential. And that's one example. I could give 100 examples, but that's an easy example that some people could relate to. I remember when I graduated college, my thesis was on revitalization. My last paper I had to write was on revitalization. Some people call it regentrification. When you see a Harlem, at one time, was great, then it got bad, and now you can lay on the ground with $100 bill on your chest in parts of Harlem, and ain't nobody gonna touch you. Because of revitalization, regentrification, the way the inner cities are now being changed. Just again, using that as an example. But it's interesting. And I bring all this up because some of you can relate. Maybe some of you can't relate. I'll tell you right now, right? I live in a neighborhood, and outside of my neighborhood in some areas, there's primarily white America, and some of them financially aren't at the place they'd like to be, and then a lot of them, unfortunately, are addicted to substances. opioids. You know, back in the day, the drug dealer was the cat on the corner. Today, I don't know where they're getting these prescription drugs from. Okay, I ain't trying to throw any doctors under the bus, but what's that drug that start with an M? Well, meth. Man, listen. My generation watched their aunts and uncles and parents do enough drugs. The inner city ain't stricken by these crazy ass drugs now. We done seen it. Been there, done that. That's something we not called fall victim to again. Been there, done that. Heroin, then crack. Right? Now it's happening in different parts, in different communities. And as we know, it was getting a lot of attention. The attention that was given back in the day in the 70s, 80s, and 90s was jail. Now it's programs. This is not new stuff. Anything I'm saying, we all could agree. But again, there's circumstances. So why am I talking about circumstances? And again, the reason why I could have used many different circumstances, but I use drugs because I think everyone who's listening to my voice right now, two things have probably happened. Somebody, if you're 40 or over, you know somebody in your life that has been impacted by drugs or cancer. So those are two examples that I could probably use across the board that can help with what I'm talking about today. And the point is, when there's obstacles, it can derail your God-given success. Let's go back to that tree. There's no obstacles for those trees. Again, if what's going to stop that tree from growing to its potential? A fire, a hurricane, a storm, some crazy circumstance. But if nothing gets in the way of that tree, it's going to grow to its potential. And that's how we're designed. We were designed with the same God-given ability. And everybody in the earshot of my voice, whatever you deem success as, you could have it. Especially in absence of certain circumstances. So you may say, well, damn, Rob, it's easy talking about being in absence of circumstances. I'm going through this, I'm going through this, I'm going through this. Uh-huh. And opening up your ears and getting with the right people and understanding that sometimes this stuff is bigger than you. You don't have to go through it. You can grow through it. Again, you don't have to go through it. You can grow through it. But sometimes it takes a checkup from the neck up to go sit down and talk to somebody. If you're going over the same thing over and over and over again, you find yourself at the same place in life. You find yourself arguing over the same thing. You get to one level, you find yourself back to the same level, financially, and relationships, health-wise. There's something that you haven't addressed yet. Because again, in a perfect world, with no insidious circumstances, no immediate circumstances, no trauma, you're a machine. And you can have it be whatever you want. Seriously. So let me give some solutions. What I believe can help someone who's trying to live up to their potential for themselves, for their family, who knows. There are things that you can do. On a financial point, if you got a job and if you have some extra money that you can play with, now it may take you a little bit longer than the average person, but you can play with your money in certain different platforms that you may be unaware of that will let your money grow for you. And while your money's growing for you, you could probably give up a part-time job if you have one. But once your money's grown to where it needs to be, hell, you could spend some more time on the healing process so you can clear some things out. So you can be the person you want to be, the person that you've been designed to be, the person that you desire to be. And you can do that. I'm going to tell you right now, when your mind is clear and there's certain things you don't have to worry about, oh my God, you can become so creative. There's so much more stuff that you can do when your mind is clear. You know, when there's no drama. When you've gotten past, maybe childhood trauma. I'll give you another example. Sharon and I, we were living in Newark on Osborne Terrace. My boy Diab Abdul Salam, he rolled by. Diab has been a catalyst in two major, well, as a friend, even just having conversations with him sometime. But I can give 2 examples where he's been a catalyst in 2 major things in my life. When I joined Prepaid Legal, if it wasn't for Diab, I wouldn't have known what it was. He came to my job. He was renting a vehicle. I was at Enterprise renting a car. And he asked me that I know about Prepaid Legal. Make a long story short, he connected me with my man Johnny Davis, and the rest was history. Then Diab was driving his kids to school, and he had rolled by this lot in Newark. Nice sized lot, actually. Very long. One of the largest ones for a residential property in that part of Newark. He said, yo, man, I know if you're looking for a spot, it's a spot that, you could get a house built here. And Sherry and I went through the process. We got a lovely house built. It was our first home. We were able to qualify for it and all that other good stuff. Decent mortgage. But the neighborhood started to get a little tougher. And I remember my mom said to me, she said, Rabu, you're not gonna be the creative person that you need to be right now. You won't. Now other people can, but you won't if your concern is your family safety en route to your home. Because my block wasn't that bad. It was getting to the block. Or if your concern is somebody breaking in your car. If you're using this mental energy, concerned about your safety, somebody breaking in your car, something happening to your family, that energy is energy. It's all equal. That same energy could be used for your creative prowess. Right? And so we made the move. We bounced. We came down here to Woolwich. We've been down here since 04. I said this before. I heard one of my friends say this darn herself. Sometimes you got to step out to get out to come back and help out. And that's exactly what we did. We had to step out to get out to come back and help out. We've done a lot for the city of Newark since we've been gone. And we'll do more. Are we hands-on on Newark's daily growth? No. But when things arise and we can get back and, share some experience and things of that nature, we there. But here it is, we're homeowners at that time, but there were still circumstances impeding our progress. And sometimes we need somebody to tap us on the shoulder to help us recognize the circumstances, because we can't recognize the circumstances because we're so deep in it. You in it. It's almost like a person who has body odor. You ever smell somebody, hey, once in a while they get a little funky? You smell like an onions or submarine sandwich. And you stand next to them, and you like, I know damn well they can smell this. No, they can't. Because they in it. And a lot of times, we find ourselves in it when we can't even recognize that we just surviving. Because we become so numb to it. But then what happens, once again, you find the key to not erasing, but dealing with, taking some circumstances, putting them in the shelf, compartmentalizing them things somewhere to get them out your way. Oh my God. Success is just evident. And again, success is relative to what you want it to be. I want to have this Hot Tub Chronicle because this is not everybody's circumstances. Because it's damn sure not mine now. And it hasn't been mine for a while. But there's somebody right now who's listening to this You know that is some stuff you're dealing with. And you've been trying to undeal with that shit for a while, but you've been trying to do it by yourself. Obviously, if you're a spiritual person, you definitely put some prayers on it. But in addition to prayers, there are people, that you can go chat with. People with certification and degrees that are therapists. I ain't talking about your pastor and your deacons. I ain't talking about that. Okay, and a lot of people, well, I can learn it from such and such. Nah, go to somebody who's certified in it. Somebody got some years behind their belt who've been doing this for a minute. That can help you with one or two homework assignments, so to speak. Or 2 or 3 things that can help you crack that code real quick so you can be on your way to being a successful person that you want to be. Real talk. And if it's not your circumstances, you're not dealing with anything, then damn, you need to be going as hard as you possibly can. So your success can become somebody else's success. It's funny, right? Now, I'll pretty much close on this. Look at Jay-Z. From Brooklyn, in the beginning didn't have the best life. Now he's a billionaire. Jay-Z could have stopped a long time ago. Through therapy, if you hear him talk about it, he was able to get through some things that removed some things that allowed him to become successful as he is today. Dr. Dre, same thing. Use an example, those examples I could use. Oprah, same thing. Tyler Perry, same thing. I just mentioned 4 billionaires whose circumstances as children and young adults was riddled with trauma. But in addition to them still working and honing their craft, you listen to all these stories. They got with somebody. They sat on the couch or two to help them move some things so they could be creative as they wanted to be. And along the way, they had some things that was helping them make money. Sure. Their mere lifestyle or their profession. They had some things that was running on autopilot, and they had some things that they had to work hard for, but they had some time and access to certain people that helped them get through some of that childhood trauma. And made it easier for them to cut through drama like a hot knife through butter. Now, we can give examples all day long. So I just wanted to pop on this morning because somebody, I don't know who it is, somebody is experiencing, I just heard something. I got mother ears, y'all. I don't be on alert, but I got dogs and, I had to be on alert yesterday and damn birds was coming next to my koi pond. Told you I'm going to get me a Daisy rifle. I had one growing up, BB gun. I could shoot through a damn dime. Good shot, very steady hand. I'm going to pick these birds off and I'm going to pluck their feathers. I'm going to clean them. And y'all going to see some little winglets over this bad boy. Think I'm joking. Next barbecue, I'll save something for you. Gonna be some pheasants on the grill. I'm like, the thing small? Yup, that's bothering my fish. I'm dead ass serious. Y'all think I'm joking? I know I pluck the feathers. I know how to clean animals inside. I can clean a deer to a fish. You learn that along the way. But yeah, man, I just wanted to pop on today. Say good morning. Again, I had to get in this hot tub. My body was jacked up. Yesterday I was working. I was cleaning out my garage. Oh my God, last 2 days, I was on my feet so much that I just had to, I ain't never, ever had, my feet have never hurt me. I said, Sherry, now I know what women feel like when they be wearing these heels and stuff. They come into weddings and bringing 2 pairs of shoes. Man, guys, women go through some stuff sometimes just for, oh, man, another sprinkler came on. It's going to come. The other sprinkler went off and these came on. But women go through some stuff just, to look pretty and everything. Man, listen, when your feet hurting, I had to sit my ass down last night I was on my feet for 2 days, and I'm not, a stranger to hard labor or anything like that. But for 2 days, cleaned up that garage. Picking up stuff, putting it back, up and down the stairs from the basement and stuff. Man, listen. Felt like I wanted to if I could take my feet off and mail them shits to somebody to fix them last night, I would have. But I'm good now because the hot tub, right? Let me show you. It has these things in the bottom. And they have different pressure. So before I get out of here, I'm going to turn these things back on high. And, I put my feet on them. And it hurts, and it helps the bottom of the feet. Get out of here. So, hey, y'all, I just wanted to pop on real quick. Say what's up, say good morning. Hopefully share something with somebody. And I know I was talking probably for too damn long. But it's something I might have said that, that was an aha moment for somebody. Hell, it was probably an aha moment for me. But, far too often I get on here and we talk about money and stuff like that. And talking about it, having your money grow for you and all that good stuff. Those are great damn subjects to talk about, too. But then sometimes, we got to talk about something people thinking about and wondering why. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But let me say what's up to some folks real quick. What's up, Dr. Mike? Vince, what's the deal, brother? Hey, Veronica, good morning. Glad your stuff is working now. Yeah, Doc, it was a great workout. You better believe it. Brother Crump, what's going on, sir? My world travelers celebrating their 25th anniversary. I think it's 25th. Yeah, 25th. What's up, Judy? Good morning. Selisa, good morning. Nathan, what's happening, man? Brenda, what's going on? Good morning. Monique, good morning. Ardina, good morning. Mary Kate, good morning. Daryl, what's happening? Good morning. Diab, I just spoke about you, bro. Good morning. Debbie, good morning. Hey, Paula, good afternoon. Out in Spain. Esther, good morning. Yeah, Esther, I got your message about somebody made a fake page about me. They make fake pages all the time. Alex, what's the deal, bro? I got your message yesterday, too. PC, what's happening, bro? Hey, I wore the shirt the other day. PC, thank you again, you and the missus, for the Kobe Bryant shirt that you got me. I appreciate it so much. It means a lot. Kathy, what's happening? Monique, no problem. And Debbie, you think I'm joking? You talking about them birds? Oh, no, you talking about my feet. Yeah, my feet was hurting. Tyler, what's happening? Tyrell, sorry about that. All right, guys, I'm about to bounce. Lay out a whole bunch. Get out this hot tub. Go take a quick shower. I got to treat the hot tub when I get out. I got to put oxidizer and chlorine in the bad boy. Once you get out, that's why I say so clear. See how clear that is? So clear you can drink it. You better not drink this damn water. Nah, but it's nice and clear, right? Hey, Shawnee, what's happening, lady? Hi, guys. Shawnee, I was in Newark the other night. Naughty by Nature was performing. And it's this amazing restaurant. My man Franco, I had a chance to meet him. It's a Swahili restaurant, like right at the corner. Like, I'm sure you've been there. As soon as you come out the pack, well, you outside. But, you go to the left right there by Raymond Boulevard. Man, it's an amazing restaurant. Had a good time. Saw a lot of cats from back in the day. It was real cool. Real cool. I was up top. Had a great time. Chilling with my peeps. Newark showed the boy a lot of love, and I appreciate it. Because I give love where I go. So I don't mind accepting it if it's sent. Because I'm always going to give it. All right, y'all, let me get out of here. Lay out a whole bunch. Y'all enjoy your day. And I guess this Hot Tub Chronicle will be labeled Get the Healing You Need. That's it. Get the healing you need. And you'll be A-okay. You already are A-okay. You already are A-okay. But damn, if you could be better, why not? All right, y'all. Lay out a whole bunch. Peace.